I don't know what your earliest memory is. What is your earliest memory that you can think of? One of mine is this. It's actually just walking home from school. I was about 4 or 5, and every day my mum used to pick me up. I've got a younger sister, she was in the pram, I remember that well. I've got an older sister that was walking next to me, and all the different families were walking home from school. But I decided that actually I didn't like walking very much. So what I decided to do is, instead of walk, I'd kind of like jump and float in the air about the height of the ceiling here, and I just used to look down on everybody as I was going, as I was walking home from school. And I used to do this quite often because I didn't like walking very much. I liked the idea of floating above everybody. However, one day I went to try this thing that I used to do, and I couldn't fly anymore. And it was at that point I realised that I'd been dreaming all along, and actually I don't have the ability to fly. And actually my earliest memory is this recurring dream that I had. That I could fly. I don't think I've ever had good dreams like that you wake up and you're like really disappointed. I had a dream that I went into an auditorium, a big auditorium, and I sat down, and in front of me, sitting in the chair in front of me, was Hannah from S Club 7. I tapped her on the shoulder, she turned around, and we had a good chat, and I won't lie, there was chemistry between us. We had a good chat, we talked about God, we talked about lots of exciting things, we exchanged numbers, we agreed to meet up, and then I woke up and realised it was just a dream, and I've never met Hannah from S Club 7. Very sad moment of my life. I know, thank you for the sympathy, I do appreciate that. Dreams can be fun, can't they? Dreams can be a lot of fun. We can have some really great dreams, and sometimes truth and reality doesn't quite meet up to our expectations and our hopes that we have in life. We're bombarded with standards of what we should expect from life, that we should have this house with this sofa, be in this kind of relationship with this kind of family, that behave in this kind of way, with this kind of job, or this kind of money, with all these kind of, this is how life should be, this is how life should pan out, this should be our expectations and our hopes and dreams for life. But I don't know about you, but when I look at the reality of life, and I look at the Bible and how it explains and how it talks about life, so I see a dissimilarity. It's not quite the same. And actually, if you read through the Bible and you think about your life, actually, there's no one set way that life should go. It doesn't go from one to the other and work out sometimes as we hope. And we need to kind of realise that actually, while we're living on earth, that we're living alongside suffering and decay and pain and problems. Which is why I love this verse in Philippians chapter 1. Paul said, to die is gain. Paul is looking forward to dying. Paul is looking forward to going and being with Jesus. I often need this to help me get through life. The fact that one day there's going to be no problems, and there's going to be no suffering, there's going to be no kind of toil and strife and hurt and pain, and that we're not going to be living in this world which is full of sinful people with pride and selfishness that hurt and murder and abuse each other. At the moment, in reality is that we are, in a way, separated from God. And although that while we're here on earth we get to worship Him and we get to have a relationship with Him, which is an amazing, I don't know about you, but it has transformed my life. But actually one day I'm going to get to see Jesus face to face. I'm actually going to be in front of Him. I get to touch Him and smell Him, and have a proper embrace and a proper hug, and like a real, I'm counting as real intimate times with Jesus. And while we're on earth, we have people to support us and help us. We have friends and we have family. But sometimes, that doesn't always work. And sometimes, with hurt and pain and misunderstandings and arguments and people with insecurity, sometimes, friendships can be difficult. But when we get to heaven, everyone's going to be perfect. And those relationships are going to be really, really good. I am looking forward to the day where there's no pain or suffering or guilt or shame or depression or anxiety, when I get to be with Jesus and see him face to face. Paul says, I want very much to leave this world because it's better in every way. I want so much to go and be with Jesus, to die. If I died today, that's where I'm heading. That's what I want. I won't miss anybody. Sorry if you expected me to. I won't miss you. I'm going to be with Jesus. I'm going to be where I wanted to be. I want to be with Jesus. I want to finally see him face to face and be free of the struggles and pains of this world. Isn't that amazing? That we've got that to look forward to, and we're hoping for that. We want to die is to gain everything. That's amazing. I'm really looking forward to that. But what is stopping us then from just going there now? What is stopping us? What is holding us back? Well, Paul says this: to live is Christ. To live is Christ. To die is gain. Although we're going to gain loads from dying and being with Jesus, to live is Christ. Christ came down to earth to live as a human, to show us that he loves us and to show us the way to heaven. Christ had a purpose for living on earth. And actually, Paul, he had a purpose for living on earth. He said, actually, I need to be on earth because it means that I can have fruitful labour. It means that I can do stuff with Jesus. It means that actually, while I'm here, I can speak to you, I can write, I can teach you. Actually, it's better for you that I am here, because while I'm here, I've got stuff that God wants me to do. I can be a Christian, like a mini Christ here on earth. And that is something that excites me about living. The fact that actually, although we've got something to look forward to, actually there's a reason that we're not in heaven right now. There's a reason that you don't just become a Christian and die and go and be with Jesus. There's a reason that we're on earth. We have a purpose for being on earth, and that purpose is to live for Christ and to live to be Christ to others. And if that is our focus, and our focus is God and Christ, and to live for him, to love him with everything we have, and then to let other people know about that, then that just really explains a lot of what happened in the New Testament. As soon as people became Christians, they seemed to sell everything they had and give to the poor. They seem to do absolutely crazy stuff, which you kind of think, well, what are you going to do in your retirement? What are you going to do? How are you going to focus with how are you going to cope with your life here on earth? You're selling everything, and you're meeting every day in the church, and everything is about the church and telling people about Jesus. Surely that's not what life is about. Surely that's not what God wants us to do. But actually, I think if we've got the perspective of actually to live is Christ and to die is gain, then actually that gives you a new perspective of what life is all about and the purpose for us to be here. Life doesn't ever or often turn out the way we plan. I've grown up in a Christian family, had Christian morals, I had quite a happy life and expected life to go a certain way. I didn't expect to get 35, to be single, divorced, not being able to fly, and having never met Hannah from Club 7. I didn't expect it to work out that way. But reality is that actually there is no set way or set pattern for life. Actually what we have to do is just live each day as we can. And I've been reading Romans chapter 4 and 5 this week, even yesterday. And I actually from Romans 5, it talks about actually troubles in our life. The perspective of troubles are good. We should be joyful in our troubles because they produce patience, which produces character, which produces hope.
I missed that bit.
Yeah, that's Romans 5. That's very good. You'll get there tomorrow, probably. If you carry on reading through Romans, it's really good. Do you know, there's purpose because we can get closer to Jesus. We can actually have hope and purpose in life. And actually, there's no promise in the Bible that we're not going to have difficult times. And actually, it seems to suggest that we're all going to have difficult times. But the answer is that one day we will be with Jesus and it will all be okay. And actually, while we're here, we can spend a lot of time telling people about Jesus and being Jesus. We can be Jesus to others and for others. And that's something that I really get excited about. That actually makes me not want to die tomorrow. Because actually, we can spend our days and our weeks and our months and our years being Jesus for people. To live is Christ, but to die is gain. And that's the message really that I wanted to bring to you. That actually we can. Life is always going to be difficult, and there's nothing we can do. But actually, if we press into Jesus, as we spend our life focusing on Him and loving Him, then actually we get a little glimpse of heaven because we get to carry Jesus with us in our life. But then, as we then live out our days, we take the opportunities we've got while we're on earth to be Jesus and to tell people about Jesus for others and to others. Then I think that gives us life, purpose, and meaning. And actually, there's something that we can all do.